Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that is our weekly buzz by Helium 10, where we give you a rundown of all the news stories that's going on in the Amazon, Walmart, and e-commerce world, and we give you training tips of the week that will help you with serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's see what's buzzing this week. We've got another kind of heavy week on the news articles. We got some more info on that FTC on how they potentially might crack down on Amazon. And there's some things that might affect us Amazon sellers that we need to be aware about. We've got some new perks that have come out for Walmart Plus. One of the Chinese marketplaces is trying to recruit Amazon sellers. TikTok is trying to bring more sellers and products from China, as well as we've got an important training tip of the week where I'm going to show you live how I'm about to get about $400 back from Amazon thanks to Helium 10, and it wasn't even about refund cheating. All right, so let's go ahead and hop right into the news. Now, if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we had talked about how FTC, was saying that they might crack down on Amazon, and people are all up in arms. And at the time, the article that we showed, I really wasn't too concerned about it because it seemed to be mainly about Amazon prioritizing FBA, which, I explained in that weekly buzz. That's not even an issue. Like, Amazon sellers couldn't care less. Of course, FBA can and should get priority. But an article from Politico just came out this week, and it's interesting because it says FTC readies lawsuit that could break up Amazon. Now, first of all, this is a little bit some scare tactics. I don't think Amazon necessarily right now is going to be broken up. That being said, let me just say this right now. Whatever happens, we might have our own opinions about Amazon and, hey, we don't think something is fair. But let me just tell you, if the day comes where like Amazon is all broken up somehow and shipping company is separate and marketplace is separate and this and that, I don't think we're going to be too happy as Amazon sellers if that ever happens, because I'm pretty sure fees and prices and stuff are going to go up. Service might not be as great as it is now. Amazon being cracked down upon, I honestly don't think any of us Amazon sellers really should try and be rooting for. All right. But let's go ahead and go into this article. As I said, it's actually showing a little bit more than a couple weeks ago when we were just talking about the prioritization of Amazon Prime and FBA items. Now, what this article says is that they were actually investigating more things. And I think some of these you guys might resonate with. For example, right here, you can see that it says the complaint is likely to focus on challenges to Amazon Prime. Amazon rules that the FTC say block lower prices on competing websites, and policies that the FTC believes force merchants to use Amazon's logistics and advertising. All right. So there's three things mentioned here. Two of them are new that weren't mentioned in a couple weeks ago in the article. The first one, I'm sure you guys probably, have experienced before, how if you're selling on Walmart, your own website, and you're trying to sell at a lower price than Amazon, you lose the buy box. All right. I know a lot of Amazon sellers have complained about that. That's a legit complaint that Amazon sellers have. That's something a little bit more interesting. Like, what does FTC think about that? And then, some people complain about, man, it seems like we got to pay to play. Too much advertising is needed. So this is some interesting developments with this. Is this going to be part of that FTC probe? Now, again, I don't think anybody cares about the Amazon prioritizing Prime. I mean, that's to me is a non-issue. I mean, Amazon has even brought back buy with Prime, which means that fulfilled by merchant can even get Prime badge now. So that's not an issue. But these other two things, I think Amazon sellers are curious, right, as to if that could potentially get changed. Is that enough to like break up Amazon as a monopoly or something like that? I don't think so. But it would be kind of interesting to see if maybe that buy box suppression thing goes away. Who knows? Let's see. Time will tell. The next article is actually TikTok is launching an e-commerce program to bring Chinese goods to the U.S. Now, this is not to be confused with TikTok Shop that we have been talking about, where it's kind of like a third party sellers can have their own shop right there on TikTok. They're trying to help Chinese merchants sell goods globally, and they're going to roll it out to consumers in the United States, according to this article from Reuters. And they're trying to replicate the success of shopping platforms like Shein and Temu, right? Where they're going to provide a suite of services ranging from storage to shipping to merchants in China to help them sell in the US. So they're going to help Chinese companies store products and ship it to the US to try and take advantage of TikTok's popularity and of cheap shipping prices that these sellers can use from China. So this is going to be interesting. A lot of people have been worried about the Temu and Shein, but TikTok is pretty huge, obviously, in this country. So it'll be interesting to see do Amazon sellers have now a new competitor to have to worry about. Next article up here is from it was looks like a local news channel, WUSA 9. All right, now this local news channel said Amazon takes action against a vendor after hundreds of Amazon boxes stack up on Virginia woman's doorstep. All right, this lady got delivered 1,000 headlamps. All right, for running and biking, 800 glue guns, dozens of children's binoculars. Now, this article goes on to show, and this is what I thought at first before reading this, that, okay, this is probably brushing. You guys heard of brushing? That's what happens where some nefarious sellers, what they do is they get a whole bunch of Amazon buyer accounts, order a whole bunch of their own products from all these different accounts and send it to a couple of people so that each of those fake Amazon accounts can leave verified reviews. But that person never ordered the product, right? They're usually based overseas, be it China or other countries. And so they can't just ship the product to them. So they have to ship it to a real address so they can get that verified badge. But this article goes on to show, no, this is not brushing. All right. I mean, this lady was tripping out. She's like, man, these big towering blocks of it seems like Legos all the way up covering the door of my house, but it's all Amazon products. Now, they thought this was the brushing scam, as they said, but when they took a closer look at the Amazon packaging slips that they were receiving, this was an entirely different scheme that was going on. These were all vendor returns from this one Amazon seller. They tracked it to different Amazon fulfillment centers in 9 different states. And basically, when Amazon launched this investigation, they discovered that this seller created removal orders with this lady Cindy's address. All right. So the spokesperson sent this message from Amazon, says, hey, we have a way to kind of detect if these kind of things are happening, and we close their account down. So what probably is happening is here's another seller that's based overseas, but they needed to remove inventory for whatever reason, right? To either liquidate it or who knows what the heck is the reason. But if they're overseas, they can't just ship it back to them. So they're like, all right, let me just find somebody's address, like a real address in the States, and then just make a removal order there so that I can get these products out of Amazon. Guys, I would hope to think that no listener of this podcast would ever think about doing that. But just in case you were, this person's Amazon account got shut down. But I don't know if I got all these packages, 1,000, I might just go ahead and relist them on a new listing. I can just launch a new product. But imagine that, getting thousands of packages just randomly delivered at your door. Another news article. This one's just directly from Amazon. Here, this was just released this week. You can actually get 20,000 free Amazon transparency codes for 1 year. All right, for every new product enrolled in the program before December 31st, 2023. Transparency is something that helps customers stop receiving non-authentic or wrong versions of the product. If you guys want more information on this, just go into your Seller Central dashboard, type in Amazon Transparency, and you can get a little bit more information. Switching from Amazon now to Walmart. Walmart Plus members now have a new perk. It's called for Walmart Travel, where they kind of have this collab going on with the travel website Expedia. All right. So if you have Walmart Plus and then you go to walmartplustravel.com, you can get Walmart cash based on vacation rentals, hotels, and other activities booking, up to 5% cash back. So, you might think that this really doesn't, concern you, but I like reporting on new perks for Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus, which is kind of like Walmart's version, because just think, the more perks that these companies release for these services, that means the more customers there's going to be. That means the more people potentially could be buying your product. So it's always nice to see new perks coming to Amazon Prime and also Walmart Plus. Speaking of perks, not having to do with Amazon Prime, but this was another news article on the Seller Central dashboard. It says that Amazon Buy Shipping now offers the lowest commercial USPS rates available. This article states that there's an average of 35% off USPS ground retail rates. Now, for those who don't know, this was something that actually USPS changed, like their first class service to USPS ground. I personally don't use that. I use like my software that I use to to ship from here is just stamps.com, where stamps.com gets exactly the same prices as Amazon. It's a service I have to pay for. So now theoretically, if I didn't want to have to pay for stamps.com, I still am going to, because I ship from Etsy and all these other websites, eBay and stuff like that. But let's say I was only shipping from Amazon. Well, now with Amazon, I can get those same discounted prices for free. Stamps.com I have to pay for every month, but you already got your Amazon account. You can now take advantage of their discounted shipping if you did not have an outside service. Switching gears, Amazon Alexa. Here's an article from Axios. It says Amazon wants Alexa to bring AI into the home. We talked about this a few months ago, where we speculated that something like this could happen. And there's some news that have come out where the Amazon is showing signs that they're trying to bring generative AI to Alexa, because there's all these Alexa devices in homes around the world, and the experience is not great, right? The way Alexa works right now. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's always been pretty cool, but now kind of like generative AI, ChatGPT and things like that kind of like seem to dwarf the capabilities of how you can communicate with Alexa. So there's these news articles that are coming out where, hey, Alexa is going to start incorporating generative AI. You can have full-on conversations. Now, why am I mentioning this here? Why do I think that affects you as Amazon sellers? Is imagine like a way to purchase on Alexa for Amazon that is like 10 times as good here. People have talked about kind of like optimizing your listings for Amazon Alexa, and people do get sales from there, but it's a really kind of clunky way of doing it. Like only a very few products actually show up in the results. But if you could have like this two-way conversation with your Alexa device, I foresee if this happens and it connects to the Amazon.com shopping experience, I think sales are going to like double, triple, maybe even 10x from Alexa, just because it's going to be a lot easier to navigate Amazon using your Alexa device. So a little bit interesting article there. Next article here is from Digital Commerce 360. It's entitled Shein. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right. Shein. This Chinese company marketplace, that they are now going after Amazon sellers to recruit for their online marketplace. Shein has pretty much been just selling their own products. They are now launching a third-party marketplace, right? Now, the ones who are eligible for this are sellers with at least $2 million in annual Amazon sales, and they're going to get like tons of perks, such as free advertising and no commissions for a certain time. Now, just keep in mind, you maybe you haven't heard of Shein, but they're pretty big. They're in a lot of countries right now, and they actually, U.S. consumers spent $8 billion last year on that on the website in 2022 on Shein. So this is not like some just hole in the wall kind of company that is selling a couple things a month. No, $8 billion they sold last year, and that's probably gonna be a lot more. Mainly like kind of like clothing. They produce their own branded apparel at really cheap prices, but they're trying to recruit 100,000 third-party sellers to their marketplace. I don't think that that's going to happen, but again, just something to keep in mind. If you are a $1 or $2 million sellers or more, Shein might be looking for you and might be giving you some benefits if you join their platform. Last article of the day is an announcement by Amazon Accelerate. They announced one of their main kind of celebrity speakers, and it's going to be Tracy Ellis Ross. All right, if that name doesn't sound familiar, that's Diana Ross from Diana Ross and the Supreme's daughter, and she's been on shows like Blackish and Girlfriends and a lot of shows over the year. And she's also a very successful e-commerce entrepreneur, and she's going to talk about her brand, and she's talked at TED conferences. So again, if you didn't get the message last week, make sure to come and register for Amazon Accelerate. It's going to be in Seattle, September 13 and 14. You can sign up at h10.me/accelerate. h10.me/accelerate. If you're an elite member, make sure to come on the 11th, because we've got a workshop all about AI that day. Now, we do offer sometimes non-elite members, if we don't fill up the room, to come. It costs like about $500-$600 for that. We always give elite members the first option. So right now there's no signups for that workshop that we're doing on AI, but watch out for your email. If we do have openings, we'll go ahead and let you guys know. But Accelerate by itself, you can definitely register for no matter what right now, h10.me/accelerate. That'll just take you directly to Amazon's website there. All right, that's it for the news this week. Now, moving on to the training tip of the week. If I were to ask you how Helium 10 could help you get a few $100s from Amazon in money that they owe you, what would you say it is? Probably you'd say it's Refund Genie, right? Which is 100% correct. People have gotten even thousands of dollars back from Refund Genie. But let me actually show you something that I found that wasn't using Refund Genie that made me realize that Amazon owes me potentially hundreds of dollars. Watch this, guys. I was just looking at my Insights dashboard, and I was looking at the profit margins for some of the products, and I noticed this one product had 8% profit margin, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a product that I know should be getting like 20-30% profit margins, right? Because I don't even do PPC on this. So I was like, you know what, let me just take a look at how it looks on Amazon. So what I did was I went to Amazon, and here is what jumped out to me. I was like, wow, that seems like an expensive FBA fee, right? I scrolled down, I looked at the product dimensions. I was like, yeah, this is the right product dimensions. That means the item dimensions, right? It's 14 by 3.5 by 3.5. Now, this is something that you can and should be doing, everybody, for all of your products at least once, just to make sure that, especially if you haven't had Helium 10 for a while, do this. Check what your item dimensions are. And if this is a product that should go into a box that is about this size, then you know that your box should be about just like maybe 1 inch taller or 1 inch bigger or half of an inch bigger for each of these dimensions, right? So, because look at this. This is not something you assemble. It should be about the same. But if I scroll down to here in the Helium 10 calculator, under the sales estimator, it tells me what the package dimensions are. It's pulling this in from the Amazon backend. And take a look at this. 16 inches by 4 inches by 12 inches. Do you guys see the difference here? This is something, this is an item that is 14 by 3 by 3 about, and Amazon put it to 12 inches. I'm like, what in the world? What happened? So I actually went to Helium 10 alerts, and I checked the history because I'm tracking this. And sure enough, look at what happened all the way back in December, guys. December of last year. Me, not paying attention. I never caught this, but look at this. December the 30th, I got an alert, which I never acted on, where the dimensions was 14 by 4 by 4, and it changed it to this 15 by 11 or 12 actually by 4. All right. So I'm like, whoa, that is crazy. How much more am I paying because of this? So what I did was I went back to the Amazon page, and then I clicked up here on the FBA fee so that it would bring up the profitability calculator. And as you can see right here, it's pulling in the dimensions. But what I said, hey, let me put in what the dimensions used to be, which, what did I say it was? Yeah, 4.1 by 4.2 by 14.37. So I re-put in these numbers, 4.1 by 4.2 by 14.37. And take a look at this, guys. The FBA fee went down to $5.69. All right. Do you remember what I said I was paying before, guys? $11.72. That is, that's actually including the $3.50 Amazon, fee. So, more or less, that's like $3 or $4 more. Guys, that's $3 or $4 more per unit I am paying because Amazon messed up my dimensions. Now, how much does that mean? Let me just say it's $3 or $4 different. Take a look at this. I'm going to pull out my calculator here. Let's just say it's $3.50 different. All right. If I only sold 100 units, right, which I probably only have in the last 3 months of this product because it's not a big seller at all, that's still $350 I should be getting back from Amazon. But think about it. What if this was one of my big sellers, guys? What if I sold maybe 750 units over the last few months? A lot of you guys sell 750 units a week, right? this could have been something that cost me $2,600. All right, so this is huge. I saw it because I saw it on my dashboard that my profit was a little bit off. But even if I wasn't looking at the dashboard, remember the way that you guys can find out if something is going on, go to your listing, look at that FBA fee, take a look at your item dimensions, compare it to your package dimensions, right? Now, another way that I could have found it, even if I didn't have my alerts active, was by looking at my insights dashboard. Now, when this happened in December, we didn't actually have the insights dashboard active. It didn't even exist. But like right now, if something like that would happen, Amazon changes the dimensions, I would have gotten an insight right here in my my notification panel, and then I would have been able to click on these alerts as well, and that also would have showed me that something fishy was going on with my package. So the way that I can get my money back and you can get your money back, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it together. I opened up a case with Amazon. You just hit help, and then you hit contact Amazon, and I gave the ASIN here. I said, hey, can you please remeasure this ASIN? It's been charged for the wrong size for 6 months. We would like reimbursement as well for the overage and FBA fees. Now, what's going to happen when I hit continue? It'll probably give me like this form to fill out. It'll say I can go ahead and request remeasurement. So I put the ASIN right here. I hit next, and they went ahead and opened up a case. So maybe I'll let you guys know later how much money I got back, but I should get back at least $300, I think, if my calculations are correct. So how much money does Amazon owe you because of a dimension change? Might be worth going in and doing a little audit on your products, and then also make sure to turn on alerts for all of your products so that you're not like me and you have to wait 6 months later to see this change. Take action, because you're going to get a text message or an email from Helium 10 letting you know that Amazon did change your dimensions. Take action right away instead of waiting like I did. All right, guys, that's it for the news and training of the week. We'll see you guys next week to see what's buzzing.